We just got a ton of additional information on the sequel to Into the Spider-Verse. It's time for all the latest news out of animation. Across the Spider-Verse isn't set to release until June next year, but Lord and Miller just dropped a boatload of details about it in a new interview. We've gotten info on Gwen and Miles, Spider-Man 2099, and even a potential MCU connection. Easily the biggest news, though, is that the film is set to have 6 unique animation styles, used to differentiate individual universes. Working on Mitchell's vs. the Machines has helped the team work out how to better integrate very different looks, shifting fluidly from one to another. But what looks could the team be going with? The duo outlined 3 of these unique aesthetics during the interview, each tied to a different parallel world. The first is an Indian comic book look, used for Earth 50101. The directors called this world Mumbattan, and the number reinforces the idea that we're going to be seeing Paviter Prabhakar in this movie. Spider-Man India confirmed. The next style is to be used for Spider-Man 2099's Nueva York. Across the Spider-Verse has been looking into a Sid Mead-inspired design for what this future world could look like. That's a surprisingly mundane style for the Spider-Verse films. Mead is known for contributing his designs to the first Star Trek movie, Aliens and Johnny Mnemonic. It'll help this future stand out at least. Perhaps they'll play up the contrast between this bleak look and the more lively dimensions. The last style we know of right now is a watercolor style on Gwen's Earth 65. The comics have given us some potential additional lore here, including a new Kingpin, Matt Murdock. Could he feature in this movie as a secondary antagonist to the Spot? Christopher Miller made it clear that this world is going to be a major focus for this film. According to him, Across the Spider-Verse opens in Earth 65 and spends a good deal of time there. That gives us half of the film's looks. Now, assuming each world has its own style, Miles' Earth gives us 4, leaving 2. That's odd when our existing Spider friends from the first movie show off 3 potential looks: noir, anime, and classic Western cartoons. Which Earth won't we be visiting? Beyond this, we've also got some fascinating non-spoiler plot details to share. Phil Lord kept the idea of a Gwen-Miles relationship ambiguous, noting that it's a possibility but that they have a strong friendship outside of that. The two may not enter into a romance, worried that it'll mess up the bond they already have. We could see them take the risk, but it's far from guaranteed. We've also found more information on Spider-Man 2099. In this film, Miguel O'Hara is in charge of his own group of rebels. Rather than their usual focus on the Alchemax Corporation, the future Spider is focused on trying to clean up the consequences of the Collider explosion at the end of the first film. That's likely going to lead to some tension between him and the rest of the Spiders, given that they were somewhat responsible for blowing it up. That leaves one last point for Lord and Miller to tease, and it's the biggest one of all. Could Tom Holland show up in this movie? If the Multiverse Spider movie is going to escalate, seeing the MCU Spider-Man make an appearance would be a natural step up. The creative duo played it coy, but left us with one potentially earth-shattering line. Let's say, anything is possible in the multiverse. Now that would be an amazing moment, the natural turnaround to that Spider-Man's role in No Way Home. But how can this be? Tom Holland hasn't accidentally spilled any details about cameoing yet. Well, as soon as he does, we'll be sure to let you know with all the latest news out of animation.